Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Twiggy Mouse. So, the plot of F.E.A.R can be a little convoluted, so I'm going to do my best to break it down a bit. This all comes from a few places, but I want to give a shout out to the F.E.A.R wiki. A lot of the info, particularly these specific details, come from there. There's a link to the site in the thread. If you haven't checked it out already, if you're into the lore of the game at all, it's a great place to go. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the game obviously revolves around one single person, Alma Wade. So, that's where we'll start. On August 26, 1979, Alma was born to Harlan and Elizabeth Wade. Elizabeth died during childbirth, which left Harlan to care for Alma on his own. Alma began having nightmares and visions pretty much as soon as she was able to do so, and Harlan, who worked for Armacan at the time, brought her in for testing at the age of 3. Anything they wanted her to do, she could, but the testing was relentless and grueling, and when she was 5, Alma started intentionally fucking up the tests. Then she started intentionally fucking up the people in the facility. When she was 7, they inducted her into Project Origin, where she continued to be largely uncooperative. The Alma Interviews, a series of live-action videos released as part of the F.E.A.R Director's Cut, shows the effect Alma has on those trying to work with her. Soon after that, Alma was put into a coma and then put into the vault. The resulting nastiness that came from this led to the eventual abandonment of the Auburn district of Fairport. Project Origin continued with the ultimate goal of creating a psychic commander who could lead an army of enhanced super soldiers. The events of the game show how well that went. Anyway, 7 years later, Project Origin was ready to get real unethical. When Alma was 15, they impregnated her with the first prototype, who we now know to be our player character, the Point Man. Despite being in a medically induced coma, Alma wakes up during the birth. The horrific visions in the hospital are all of this event. There are a number of key players here, including Harlan, who holds up the newborn Point Man and tells him, "You will be a god, man." Alma, who mostly screams about her baby being taken away, and Bill Moody, who looks at the corner and says, Moody's the guy who starts talking to us in the final hospital scene, and the guy who first tells us that F.E.A.R is looking for Alma, though we don't have all the pieces at the time and can't really make sense of it when he first lets us know. The Point Man is taken away, and a year later, Alma gives birth to her second child, Paxton F.E.A.R. After F.E.A.R.'s birth, Alma is put back into a coma and more or less left alone until the Synchronicity event. In 2005, when F.E.A.R was 10, he developed a psychic link with his comatose mother, which resulted in 7 deaths. ATC discovered the link between Alma and F.E.A.R and severed it, with Harlan himself pulling the plug on Alma and sealing the vault. Of course, we know this did basically nothing. 20 years later, we find ourselves at the start of F.E.A.R. The actual story that happens during the game is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to put all the pieces down anyway. In 2025, Genevieve Aristide, an ambitious employee at Armacan, decides to reopen the vault, releasing Alma's very angry spirit. This results in F.E.A.R reconnecting with his dead mother in a very unhealthy way and activating the replica soldiers. This brings the Point Man in, a new recruit to the government agency that is First Encounter Assault Recon, and gets our game started proper. Point Man was raised by Armacam to be a psychic commander like F.E.A.R, but after he failed at that, they surgically enhanced his reflexes, which is why we have the slow-mo in-game, and wiped his memory before sending him off to join the military. After joining F.E.A.R, he's teamed up with Spencer Jankowski, Jen Sun Quan, and Rodney Rowdy Betters, and sent out into the field, much to the chagrin of Jankowski, who gets turned into a phantom pretty soon anyway. As we play through the game, we start to learn that a number of people, including Harlan's daughter and Alma's half-sister Alice Wade, start to get closer to uncovering the truth. We also learn that Norton Mapes, a hacker and all-around creepy asshole, has been dispatched by Aristide to cover up the shit show that is Project Origin. Mapes is ultimately shot by Harlan Wade as he makes his way into the vault to let Alma out. In the vault, the Point Man finally catches up with F.E.A.R, where the Point Man ultimately kills him. Fratricide at its finest, right there. With F.E.A.R gone, the replicas aren't able to act, and whatever threat they may have posed is completely erased. Unfortunately, Harlan releases Alma right after that, and a whole new threat shows up. The Point Man ends up destroying the Origin facility, at Mapes' behest no less, and manages to escape just in time to watch Auburn go up in a nice big mushroom cloud. The last couple moments revealed that Alma's still kicking in at least some capacity, and in a very Metal Gear Solid twist, the Point Man was the first prototype all along. Anyway, that's more or less the plot of F.E.A.R, at least as far as the first game is concerned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.